He's obviously spooked out right now. And it's crazy to see because it's like, did we see how he reacted when those people were outside trying to interview him, ask him questions, and he was so terrified that they were going to ask him about Epstein? And I just think it's so funny. I'm like, who is on payroll? Because nobody asked him the hard questions ever. Like, I never see these questions being asked, but it's all over social media, the news.
Wendy Williams has spent years hinting that there's more to Jay-Z's past than people realize. And she's also repeatedly talked about Beyonce's first surrogate that allegedly carried Blue Ivy. At the time, people didn't really pay attention until this whole Diddy case started blowing up and Cathy White's name started popping. At first, people thought Cathy was just Jay's mistress, who was taken out of the picture because she got pregnant. But the story is actually way deeper than that. Cathy was reportedly a witness to some of the things that happened on the Epstein Island, and holding on to those secrets unfortunately made her a liability.
Take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living killing our people, so how the f they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Liars are now the face of our culture. You know what I'm saying? And they have to lie because if they ever went and supported the red hat before they say, okay, it's okay to do it, they go pull up some on them. They have some on them. They get their brother locked up on some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Cathy White has got to be one of the most well-known names on the internet that folks know next to nothing about, because the story and connections that were at play right before she passed away. So just for a bit of context, Cathy White was a Howard University graduate who moved to LA and became a publicist and health fitness expert in the entertainment industry. She also wanted to dabble in music, maybe as a label owner, since she registered Koreana Hun Music Group LLC as her company. And there is a short IMDb biography on her where she was described as a model, screenwriter, songwriter, and talented singer. Cathy literally wanted to do it all and immediately started making celebrity friends like Claudia Jordan and Nikki Chu, who immediately got her into their circles. But while most wanted to be front and center on the red carpet, Cathy was completely fine remaining in the background, as long as she got what she wanted. And maybe that was what attracted Jay-Z to her, because after they got introduced by Claudia Jordan, their relationship took off fast. However, when you're with someone as popular as Jay, especially when he's already married to Beyonce, something was bound to slip. Apparently, rumors of the two of them started after a blogger called Hollywood Street King blew the lid off their relationship and exposed Jay for cheating on Beyonce with Cathy. At first, Cathy immediately deleted her social media to protect herself and Jay-Z. She even moved to New York just to avoid any new information about their relationship coming out. But then, something happened to make Cathy change her decision about keeping their relationship secret. Liz Crokin confirmed that she reached out to Cathy for an exclusive interview when she was still working at Star Magazine. At first, Cathy wasn't here for it at all and shut it down completely. But in a last-ditch effort to get the interview, Cathy surprisingly agreed to sit down with Liz. However, before Cathy could actually tell her story, she was gone. And according to Liz, Cathy agreeing to speak with her about Jay was actually the final nail in her coffin.
Would consider telling her story to me on the record, which implied to me, obviously, that if she was willing to tell her story about Jay-Z, that it was indeed true that she was having an affair with him. So that was pretty much it. That was the last time that I talked to her, and I was, under the impression that she was very strongly considering talking to me and telling me her story about her affair with Jay-Z.
It turns out that before she decided to speak to Liz, Cathy told Jay that she was ready to expose it all. Now, allegedly, she was also acting as Beyonce's surrogate, but at this point, it is all just theories. The Hollywood Street King also confirmed that Cathy and Jay had an argument on the phone about her upcoming interview, and that was the last time the two of them spoke before she died. The official report claimed that she died from a brain aneurysm at 28, and there was completely nothing suspicious about her passing. But girl, Cathy's passing has got to be one of the most sus deaths in Hollywood. I mean, just take a look at what's out there. Cathy White just so happened to die a few days after she told Jay that she was going to come out with their affair. Let's not forget that rumors from multiple sources have said that Cathy was heavily pregnant, and it's quite a coincidence that she passed a few days before Beyonce announced that she'd given birth to Blue Ivy. Do y'all remember how Wendy Williams reacted after Beyonce revealed that she was pregnant, only to have her belly fold like a yoga mat on TV? Wendy never called them out directly, but she for sure dropped clues that no woman's belly folds like that when she's 4 or 5 months pregnant. Wendy also hinted that, for whatever reason, Jay and Beyonce were going to have a lot of security when it's time for her to give birth, and very few people were going to be in the room.
Beyonce's pregnancy is a way of keeping Jay-Z's alleged mistress away. Beyonce's going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body. I don't believe that one. Well, here's one that's even more disgusting than that. They're adopting, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, you know, like they gave birth. I don't know, but I can. Okay, now you remember I was the first one to say this, and you remember, because wait, I haven't said it yet. Watch. It's going to be an at-home water birth in the master bathroom. There are going to be 3 people there. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and her mother, Miss Tina. Watch. There will be none of those nurses. There will not be any witnesses at the nurses' station.
And like clockwork, reports confirmed that the Carters paid around $1.3 million to secure an entire hospital floor, all in the name of privacy. Having a large VIP room to yourself with guards outside makes sense, since it's Beyonce we are talking about here. But an entire floor? What exactly was Beyonce giving birth to?
Jay-Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me.
Well, according to Wendy, Jay-Z had to take such extreme measures because it wasn't only Beyonce in the hospital that day. Cathy was there too. In fact, Cathy was reportedly the one giving birth at the hospital, only for the baby to be given to Beyonce once she was born. However, here's everything gets super weird. Allegedly, Cathy, because of her connections with big names, also knew what was happening behind the scenes, including all those parties and secret islands, and names of people who were present there. If Cathy really got to do her exclusive with Liz Crokin and do a deep dive into their relationship, there was no way she wasn't going to expose some of the high-profile celebrities and connections that Jay had introduced her to during the course of their affair. And if y'all remember, he was recently named dropped in the Epstein files for allegedly S-ing an unconscious woman with Harvey Weinstein. Since she was just starting out in Hollywood, Cathy also planned to use those connections to move up and later on build her own PR agency. But after what she saw in those circles and her life imploding all because of her affair with Jay, Cathy wasn't about to stay silent anymore. Her only mistake was that she thought Jay would be willing to buy her silence and let her live a good life in New York. But if she had looked at Jay's history, she'd know that he wasn't above stepping on anybody to get what he wanted. No wonder her bestie Claudia Jordan immediately started to separate herself from it, since the last thing she wanted was to end up like Cathy. And as you can expect, people have something to say about it. Blue Ivy looks like Cathy White. Beyonce was never pregnant. We knew that, and we knew Cathy didn't die. She was killed. They expired Cathy like Kim Porter, and all the people who got deleted in Bad Boy and Def Jam. But what do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe. See you later, baddies!